NBA playoffs continue this Sunday, May the 3rd. We have two more Game 7s in the Eastern Conference. Three of the four first-round series went 7 in the East, and we got two of them here for Sunday. And I've got free plays and analysis for both games Sunday. We got Magic, Pistons, and of course also Raptors, Cavaliers coming up free for you right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV, and I gave you the Game 7 preview for 76ers Celtics on Saturday night. I'm doing this video on Saturday evening before the game, so we don't have that result yet, but we got two more Game 7s going here on Sunday, one daytime, one nighttime. And by the way, quick reminder, if you're liking these videos, quick thumbs up, like, and I'll continue to give you every NBA playoff game free this postseason. Make sure you also click subscribe and the bell for instant alerts so you know when Monday's preview is ready, including Game 1 between the Timberwolves and Spurs tomorrow on Monday. Now, as I told you in the Saturday video, historically, Game 7s go to home teams 74% of the time. 155 game samples, 74% of the time the home team wins, and it makes sense. Home court is strong in basketball, and also the higher seed, the better regular season team is the Game 7 home team. So historically, the home team should win Game 7, and both home teams are 8.5 point favorites here on Sunday. But as I also mentioned to you the other night, that it hasn't worked quite as well in recent years. We've seen more road teams over the past 5 to 10 years pull Game 7 upsets. So it's not an automatic play. And of course, winning and covering the spread are two different things. With that said, though, I do think the Pistons are still the better team. We'll look at the daytime game first here at 3:30 Eastern. This one on ABC National TV. Pistons the 1 seed. And you know, 18 of the last 30 NBA champs have been 1 seeds. 77 of the 79 champs all time have been top 3 seeds in one of the conferences. Yet the Pistons were only the 5th overall favorite in the NBA playoffs here, or to win the finals when the NBA playoffs began a couple weekends ago. And that's because a lot of people felt like they weren't a true 1 seed, young team, inexperienced. Meanwhile, the Magic sneak in as the 8 seed after the upset win against the Hornets in the play-in game after losing to the Sixers in the first must-win game. And this is a Magic team that could have been a top 3 or 4 seed. They were projected to be a top 3 or 4 seed in the East, underachieved this season. They've obviously played better in this series, but Franz Wagner's been out the last 2 games. He is listed downgraded to expected to miss now for Sunday, so it does not look like he is returning. And while they did pull the upset the first game without him in Game 5, 116-89. Actually, I'm sorry, they lost both games with him. They pulled the 2 upsets at home is what I meant to say, winning games 3 and 4 to get in this series and take the 3-1 lead. They have lost the last 2 games without Wagner in the lineup, and it makes sense. He's one of their best offensive players. They've lost by 7 and 14 the last 2 games. Yes, the Pistons have been sloppy at times in this series, but they're still the better team overall, and Orlando is still a shorthanded team without Franz Wagner, an injury which I think is more important than people realize. I like the Pistons here. This will be a home team, I believe, that wins, and if they win, they likely cover. We don't want to play teams as underdogs that we don't think can win the game straight up. I like Detroit winning this game, which means I would also lay the 8.5 if you're going to play it on Sunday. As far as the over-under, we've also talked a lot about this in Game 7 over the years, that Game 7s historically are much lower scoring. It makes sense when both teams are facing elimination. They bring the defensive intensity. NBA teams throughout the regular season normally do not play tight defense, and therefore their offensive numbers are inflated during the regular season. And then you get to a Game 6 or 7, and you get the elimination mindset and the hard-nosed defense. With that said, we have seen a lot of Game 7s go unders over the years, but the odds makers and the betting public are well aware of that. And this is a situation in which they drastically reduce the lines because of it. Let's look at the Game 1 number. Game 1 number when Orlando pulled the upset back on April 19th in this series was 221. And then it was 218, 215, 213, 210, 209.5 the last 2 games. And now it's 202. Wow. 19-point lower line than Game 1 on the same court. Now, yes, Wagner is likely out for the Magic. He's one of their best offensive players, so maybe he's worth, 3 to 4 points in the total. No matter how you cut it, this line is now 19 points lower. Yes, Game 7s usually go under, and yes, sometimes they're extremely low scoring, but it works better in rounds 2 and later with better teams, not with 8 seeds necessarily. With that said, the Magic do have to play a half-court slowdown game. They're not a good offensive team to start with, and with Wagner out, it's hard to imagine that it's going to be a higher-scoring game. If you're going to play the under, I think you're better off probably just playing the Magic team total under 96.5, 97. But here again, you're really paying a premium because this line is 19 points lower than the Game 1 total. I always look to home teams and unders for the most part in Game 7. I'd rather have the home team in this one. And oh, by the way, public is on Orlando in this game. They do look like a public underdog as well, so we'll fade the public with the Pistons here minus the 8.5. I would lean Orlando team total under 97 But once again, this is a lot lower than it would have been just a few games ago. That's at 3:30 Eastern for you on ABC. All right, your night game is on NBC National TV, also streaming on Peacock. 7:30 Eastern Sunday night, Raptors and Cavaliers. Another situation in which I feel the home team is the better overall team. In fact, they were my preferred side in this series, and I mentioned that way back a couple weekends ago in Game 1. Told you I thought Cleveland was the better team. They had some matchup edges here. We had a strong best bet on the Cavaliers in Game 1 of this series on April 18th. They won by 13, easy cover from start to finish as an 8.5-point favorite. Stayed off the game in Game 2. I did give you a lean on the Raptors. They lost by 10 as about a 9-point dog. Even though they were in some good technical spots, I kept them off my best bet card because I once again felt like Cleveland was the better team in this series. And after back-to-back home wins by double digits, looked like they were in the driver's seat. Well, they left the country. They went north. Toronto does have a strong home court, and Game 3 home teams down 0-2 are usually strong plays. And I like the Raptors in Game 3. I gave them to you in the video last week. They won easily by 22 points as a home dog. The game that surprised me, though, was Game 4. Thought that was a good bounce-back spot for the Cavs, and they came up short, losing outright by 4 points. They did bounce back in Game 5, as expected, last Wednesday night, and I had a best bet on them, gave them to you in the video. They won the game by 5, but unfortunately failed to cover as a 9 to 10-point favorite. And then, of course, Game 6, Toronto back at home, strong court, strong setup, and they did get it done in overtime on Friday night. Boy, what a tough miss on the under. I gave that to you in the video at 220. Released it to my clients and the next day at 219. Sharp money was on the under. I agreed with it, and it was at, 208, I believe, after regulation, and then the buzzer beater to land on 222 in overtime. What a rough beat there on the under. And Game 7 unders, as I've said, are usually the way to look, but here again, huge adjustment by the odds makers. They're not sleeping on that long-term trend. The over-under the other night was 218.5, as high as 220, closed at 218.5. It landed 208 in regulation, snuck over. Now it's 211, 211.5. And if you go back to the Game 1 line and the Game 2 numbers, both games in Cleveland, 222.5, 222.5, and Game 5 in Cleveland was 219.5. And now the total is 211, 211.5. Yes, Game 7s usually go under. They have more defense. But as I'm clearly pointing out, you're losing several baskets. 8 baskets here, like 6 or 7 baskets in the other game of line value. So I lean under just based on the long-term premise. But I think Cleveland, once again, is the better play if you're looking to play this game. I'd rather be on the side. Cavaliers, I think, win this game. I think they're the better team. They have some matchup edges, especially in the backcourt with Mitchell and Harden. And once again, ding, ding, red flag alert, public underdog. The public is leaning towards the Raptors. You know, it makes sense. Both the Raptors and the Magic have extended both of these games, winning 3 of the first 6. And now they see them getting a lot of points. Public is on both dogs. We don't always blindly fade public dogs, but we do look for reasons to do so, and I think we have so in both of these games. If you're going to play these 2 Game 7s on Sunday, I like Detroit minus 8.5 and also Cleveland minus the 8.5. We'll fade the public with both home favorites in Game 7s on Sunday. Now, as far as any player props in both games, once again, if you're going to look at player props, you're probably looking at unders for Game 7 because they are lower scoring. You could also, by the way, look at the Toronto team total under. As I've said, these totals are really deflated low. But I would look Toronto team total under 101.5. So some Toronto player props under would make sense, and also vice versa, some Orlando Magic player props under. Problem is Wagner is now likely out again, which means other guys are going to step up. But I do think Orlando might have some trouble scoring. Detroit's been a pretty good defensive team this year, and Cleveland also has some size down low. So I would also lean both Toronto and Orlando team totals under, which means I'd also lean some player props under for both of those teams. As far as Cleveland and Detroit, it's hard to necessarily play any guys over, even though I think they'll win the games. Game 7s are a little lower scoring. Mitchell and Harden are going to have to do the heavy lifting for the Cavs. You could play both of them over, perhaps. At worst, you probably split out if the Cavs win. Hard to imagine either Mitchell or Harden do not have a good game in the backcourt there. And as far as some Toronto guys, maybe we'll look to fade. Looking back here at Game 7, a lot of minutes because it went into overtime. Walter, Barrett, Barnes all had over 43 minutes played. One guy, Sheed, was only 2 for 9, 2 for 7 from 3. He might bounce back a little bit. Other guys, I think Barnes would probably be my number one fade. He played at almost every minute of the game, played 48 minutes of the 53. 25 points, but he was 11 for 21 shooting. Can't shoot much better than that. Scotty Barnes priped at about 21 points. But he's been scoring in this series. He's had 21 or more, actually, in 5 of the 6 games. So once again, probably not anybody I'd look to fade necessarily. I think you're better off just playing the side in each game here on Sunday. 3:30 and 7:30 Eastern on ABC and NBC. Hey, what are your thoughts on these two pivotal Game 7s? Drop them in the comments below. Side, total player props. How are you attacking these games? Do you like any first half plays? Any other interesting angles, ways to attack these Game 7s? Home teams and unders are usually the way to go, but as I said, odds makers are onto this. Totals are dropped double digits from the Game 1 numbers. Home teams are probably inflated a little bit as well, although the public is leaning towards both dogs, which kind of keep those point spreads in check. I read the comments below. I reply back. What are your thoughts on this game? Include some analysis if you have time, so we can all learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And don't forget, if you're liking these free play videos, I will keep them coming for all of the round 2 games as well. Thumbs up, like, and if you're on your mobile device, hit that hype button. Hype it. Hype the video on your mobile device. The more hypes, the more likes, the more views, the more free play videos I do every day right here for you on WagerTalk TV, including some free play baseball videos. We're going to have some free baseball videos up tomorrow, Monday as well. So make sure you click subscribe and you click the bell here on WagerTalk TV so you'll get an instant alert and you'll know instantly when my free play videos are posted each and every day here on the channel. Now, I'm going to give you sides, totals, player props, leans in all these playoff games. A lot of these are light 1% of bankroll TV leans. If you're playing all the light leans, hey, 1% of bankroll is proper money management. But you want to maximize the strongest plays, and those are my personal best bets. And some of these games do make my best bet service. I also, of course, have daily baseball best bets all summer long. Basketball is winding down. We're going to have 1 to 2 games each day going forward, maybe 1 best bet a day at most. Baseball, though, 2 to 3 best bets per day on average. That's how you build your bankroll this summer as you're heading into football. And right now, there's some special offers on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. 1 play is $25. 1 day all access is $39. How about 3 days for $49? That's right, 3 days for just $10 more. 3 days all access for $49. No promo code needed. It's on my page right now, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Or if you want a slightly bigger package, how about a 30-day all access with an instant $100 discount? Normally it's $299 for 30 days. Right now it's just $199 for 30 days all access, plus 10 more bonus days included. That's right, 40 days all access for just $199. No promo code needed. Or the best package, the biggest package, the best investment approach is the 1 year all access for about $1 a play. Over an $800 instant discount gets it down to about $1 a play for the next full year of college and pro football, basketball, and baseball, and a bonus 25% coupon that you can use over the next year for any other cappers you'd like along the way is included as well. So whether you want 3 days, the 1 month, or the 1 year, great discounted prices, special offers, and most importantly, it doesn't matter which one you choose. Every client gets the same plays I'm using each day. It's always been that way since I started 30 years ago. August of 1996, I became a full-time sports bettor and professional handicapper, and it's always been the same. If I'm using a game, I send it to all my clients each and every day. Check out my strong best bets for Sunday, along with the daily free play. Last cut, just a bit outside from being a best bet, goes up as a bonus free play for everyone. My strongest free opinion each day is posted on my page with analysis. Go get that for Sunday. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/sm. You can also follow me on social media on X and Instagram at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, Merril, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you know there's more free play videos coming up next.